Welcome to this edition, which is the second episode now of the Therapy Business Club podcast. That's its name in a nutshell because we are the Therapy Business Club. And today, on this second episode, we're going to unpack a bit about what Therapy Business Club is all about, how it is serving you, what you can get from it, and why I think you should really consider being part of our wonderful community of therapists. Now, on the show with me is my good friend and co-founder of Therapy Business Club, Kev Webster. Just want to introduce yourself, Kev.
Good afternoon, Euan, and good afternoon, audience. It is a pleasure to be here and presenting this to everyone.
Awesome. Now, I haven't known Kev all my life. Our paths sort of crossed, what was it, Kev? Maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I think, something like that. Fellow therapist, hypnotherapist, but also, and importantly for Therapy Business Club, two people with combined 50 years business experience, marketing, sales, building businesses, and helping other people really develop their business skills through entrepreneurship, leadership, training, etc. So all of that, we got to thinking this would be wonderful therapists to be able to tap into what Kev knows, what I know, in a sort of community feel. And if they could really access these resources, how wonderful that would be to grow, not only themselves as therapists, but to give them a fighting chance to survive in the therapy world as well. So Kev, let's just kick this off in the time we have. And let's just talk about Therapy Business Club today. Why are we doing this? Who is this going to best serve?
That's a great question. And I think for me, the answer to that would be anyone that is keen to be in service of their client base and to develop both their business skills, including their marketing skills, so that they can reach the optimum amount of people to be able to help as many people and to, well, without sounding too woo-woo, to help raise the consciousness of the world. And I think it's an incredible opportunity for them to learn those skills, because it's okay learning the skills of being a hypnotherapist, a coach, a therapist, but stepping out into the world and letting people know what you do, how you do it, is a really important aspect of that business. And it's a part of the business that seems to be, not with all, but with many training courses, neglected.
Yeah, that seems to be the majority feedback. I think when I speak to people, Kev, and maybe this is your experience, I would say 9 out of 10 people, the concern that's raised is nothing about their therapy, how they practice what they do, whatever they do, Reiki, Chiro, hypnotherapy. It's this fear almost of, how am I going to make money out of this? How am I going to turn this into a business that I can make a lifestyle from? Not just make a living from, we get that, but how do I translate these skills into something that I can, really create the lifestyle that I want? Business, I'm not sure this is the statistics exactly, but I know at least 80% of businesses, it was always said, will fail in their first year. And that might be because businesses are not targeting the right people, or if they are, they're not really going about it in an efficient way, or it just fails in the advertising. There could be many reasons. But for me, that's a tragedy, Kev. If people get trained as compassionate people, they want to reach out, they've got the experiences, they've got the skills, they've done really hard work to get where they are in their therapy, but then fail at that hurdle of business, which for you and for me is avoidable. Because there are good ways that you can do things in the business world, and there are poor ways. And Therapy Business Club, in my opinion, is just to help people avoid all those pitfalls, all the mistakes people make, to get them up and running so that in a year's time, 2 years' time, 5 years' time, they've got a thriving, flourishing therapy business, that they don't need to be one of those statistics of failing for want of just basic business knowledge.
And I think it's that basic business knowledge that might be the thing that trips them up at the first hurdle. Also, that feeling of overwhelm. of
Mm.
knowing what should I do first, and then realizing that there's so many things that they could be doing. So getting some guidance on taking those first, I don't like the expression baby steps, but I guess, every business has to start somewhere,
Yeah.
and taking those first steps and learning from those experiences, and then realizing that those experiences are informing them. It's a positive feedback loop. And the amount of energy, we've only got so many hours in a day, but the amount of energy that some people are putting into doing things that are ineffective is really sad. And there may be that they've got a friend telling them how to do it. It may be that they've been misinformed from reading a book, or they've followed somebody online. I like
Mm.
to think that um, when it comes to giving advice, it's good to follow somebody who has been in the trenches, someone who has experienced the things that they're going to experience in their business journey. Now, I would hope to think that the people who I'm coaching with aren't going to experience all the experiences that I've had, because some of them have been quite painful, bankruptcy, liquidation, and things like that. Having been in business since I was 21, then I knew that I was bound to fall at some hurdles. And those experiences have informed me, and they've made me a lot stronger,
Mm.
and made me appreciate exactly, well, recognizing the signs, I think, is the first thing. But, we've got to learn to walk before we can run, and having the right information. I know when I got my first ever marketing coach, the golden nuggets that I got from those first meetings absolutely blew me away. And I felt like I'd gone from walking to doing a sprint.
Yeah.
And that's what we're seeing already. Some of the work that we're seeing from the members of the Therapy Business Club is just incredible. The
Mm.
videos that they're making. I was on a call earlier today. Someone who hasn't embraced technology was editing a video and recording their voice and doing some incredible work, something that they were really proud of, within an
Mm.
hour. That
Yeah.
is so great to see. And that is what I think, that is what we represent. We give the support, we give the guidance, and it's structured in a way that there's no way they're going to get overwhelmed.
Yeah. We're not being prescriptive. I think as you've benefited from coaching, Kev, so have I. There are mistakes you can avoid, and I'd
Mm,
rather people avoid those mistakes rather than making costly ones in terms of time investment and money and so forth. And I've seen, as you have, people in the club already, perhaps a bit reticent or fearful about using technology, just doing it, taking action. And they take action, they get the result, they feel so empowered that they're off at the races, YouTube channels up and running, creating meditations, engaging with potential clients in an even more, compelling way. These are just some of the side benefits that people are already seeing. So that, for me, I find that very encouraging. I'm a people person. I'm compassionate. You are as well. This is why we got into it. And the world needs compassionate people. It needs good practitioners. And so we want to give the tools, the resources to people to make sure that what they've put so much of their time into, their particular line of therapy, that they can then make a lifestyle from it, and on the way help as many people in a positive, transformative way to make the world a better place. And that sounds like a lot of sort of well-wishing mantras, but that's my motivation behind
mm.
why we're doing this, Kev. And we're already seeing people coming into the orbit of Therapy Business Club with that, that sort of compassionate heart, embracing what we're showing them now. Not because we're, experts. You only need to be one step ahead of someone else to be in a place to coach. And I'd like to think we're not claiming to be at the top of Everest doing this, but I think we're long in the tooth on some things that we can help many people with, and that seems to be what is happening. So what can people expect, Kev, when they sort of join the Therapy Business Club? What are they going to get out of it, in your opinion?
But I think the real focus for me is the recognition that there is support and community there. Not only do we have the Facebook group, the private Facebook group, where we do the pop-up sessions, so 20-minute sessions that we do kind of like randomly throughout the
Mm.
week. So people can just drop in and ask some questions or let us know what issues they're up against. So that might be nothing to do with the membership, as in what we're teaching, but it might be something else that they've come up against. And, we give support and advice on that, but also the fact that we do the weekly live call where they can drop into that weekly live call. It's recorded, so they don't need to be in there in person. It's recorded and then it's curated within the membership, within the library. So there's always that growing accessibility of resources. I mean, I did say to one of the members the other day, if you was to start today and you was to work 12 hours a day, every day, you would get past Christmas and you still wouldn't have been through all of the resources
That's true.
in and to have mastered them. Because there is so many things in there. That isn't to say that it's overwhelming. It's to say that there is something for everybody. Not everybody wants to run a YouTube channel. Not everybody wants to get on camera and start making videos of themselves. But whatever someone needs to do, wants to do, there is a resource in
Mm.
there that they
Very
can
good.
use and they
Mm.
can learn in that easy to follow step-by-step process without any technological understanding, just a willingness to learn. And I've been jumping on calls all week with people just to give them a little guidance, 15 minutes here, 10 minutes there to support them.
Mm.
And it's wonderful that they feel that they can do that. And I love doing it, as I know you love doing that, helping people and supporting them.
I mean, that alone really, is worth gold, isn't it?
Hmm.
Of some people, they're not even going to talk to you unless, you're going to pay them $500 in advance. But to know that you're there, I'm there, we're quite happy to jump on a call, spend 15, 20 minutes. Sometimes it's 30 minutes and people get the answer that they want. They get a resolution of a problem they have. For me, it's almost like Therapy Business Club is a sort of it's a coaching program. It's not a stripped down version. I don't want to call it a cheap one, but it just certainly is for some people proving to be a wonderful one-to-one platform where they're learning, they're being empowered, they're getting confidence. In addition to the resources you've mentioned, the pop-ups during the week, the coaching lounge that we do on Wednesday nights, the training. Let's not forget the training. There are 8 modules of fantastic training to take you from just starting out in therapy, creating a vision statement. Why am I doing this? To today, I was working on client onboarding, which is an important part. If you've never done that before, or perhaps you do it but you think it's not efficient, training on how to do it better, perhaps some of the protocols. You've been working on that today as well, Kev. So it's so comprehensive. There's something for everyone, and things that people, perhaps as therapists, won't even be thinking of. We've probably covered as well. That will be expanded over time. So I think it's very encouraging since the launch about a month ago now to get all sorts of therapists on board. Now, this isn't just hypnotherapists. This is all kinds of practitioners. Whatever you are, you're going to face the same challenges in business. It's sort of agnostic, really, to what you do. You need to market. You need to sell. You need to be compelling. You need to be engaging. You need to know who your ideal client is. You need to know certain things about legal procedures and policies. All of this is bundled into Therapy Business Club. It's expanding all the time. So if someone listens to this, Kev, thinks that's me, I'm just starting out, I'm struggling, I don't know how to use Canva, YouTube. Um, what shall I do? What for me now? How can I get on board with all of this?
Well, the first thing I'd say is join the free membership and try before you buy.
Yeah.
Experience it. See exactly what is on offer and the quality of what's on offer and realize just how accessible it is. It's all about communication and helping them to communicate what they want to communicate to the world in order to attract clients. We're not big on selling. We're big on communication. We're big
Mm.
on getting people to lean in and listen to what they've got to say. And that's what I encourage people to do, to put their best foot forward with all their communications, to not be over salesy, because we all know that that pushes people away. And within the free membership, There are so many resources. There are lead generation modules where they can actually create their own customizable booklet to give out to clients to draw attention to their business. Something that will take them an hour to put together. It's there already, customizable for them. Or they might want to get onto YouTube and have a play around with getting some videos on YouTube and know exactly what to do. I'm not talking about low level information. I'm talking about a high level of information. Things that I've learned from some of the world's top YouTube coaches are in there, in the free section alone. And we saw only last week, we saw where somebody on the Marketing Mingle, where they actually ranked a video #1 for local searches during the Marketing Mingle live,
Absolutely
just by
incredible.
following
Incredible.
some instructions. And today that lady got in touch with me to say that she never believed that she could actually do this. And yet it all was so simple once she knew how. And that is it, isn't it? There's the oxymoron. Once you know how, it is so simple. So we do simplify things. I'm not a big fan of technology. Well, people think that I may be, but I'm not a big fan of technology. I use technology, it's a tool. And I try and simplify it because I understand that a lot of people might be like me. And that is that the way they learn is in really kind of step by step and doing it. You've got to do it to learn it. That's the way that I've got to go through the process and follow through that process. And then it becomes like second nature. But I realize there's that barrier between knowing what to do and how to do it and doing it. And that is where I would like to think that some of our greatest strengths are, is that we're encouraging people and supporting people and empowering them to take those first steps and realize it's a lot simpler than it might seem. And they don't have to do so much. So it gets rid of that overwhelm.
Yeah.
It's about using time effectively.
Yeah. They don't need to know every platform, how to use all social media, just key ones that they have decided I'm going to be present on this one. How do I use this one as part of my sales funnel and flow? And that's much less intimidating. So that's a wonderful, like, dare I say, Kev, that Therapy Business Club is an all-in-one inclusive platform that you wouldn't need anything else really if you were thinking about developing your therapy business. Is that too bold a claim?
And I think that's what we set out to create. And I think we have over-delivered. And okay, I may be a bit biased in saying that, but I really do. And I'm only saying that by the wonderful messages, the emails, and the feedback that we get from people. They're having those aha moments of saying, oh my goodness, I didn't realize I could do this. I didn't realize it was going to be so simple. So I think we're over-delivering in that sense. And people are saying that we're very generous with our time and our knowledge. That's what I want to hear. And that's what we're hearing already. So yeah, I think that you're probably quite right in and accurate in describing it like that.
That's wonderful. And the community is growing every day. You know, it's every day we're seeing people join, participating in community, feedback on Facebook group, personal messaging to us. And, you know, the need is felt and the need is being met by Therapy Business Club. Where do people go, Kev? Where do they sign up?
Well, they go to the website and they do their due diligence and they have a look at all of the details, which have all been beautifully laid out to let them know exactly what's in there. And then they choose either the free membership option, and there's no time limit on that, or they choose the paid membership option. And it's as simple as that. So therapybusinessclub.com. And that's exactly where they need to go.
Awesome. Therapybusinessclub.com is where you can sign up and read a bit more information about what you will get from being a member. It's all there. It's all laid out. We've talked about some of that stuff today, but just go there now. Don't think about it. You can sign up for free. There's no financial obligation. There's no obligation to do anything, but simply consume the free content that Kevin and myself have put up there and to be part of a wonderful new movement of empowerment for therapists. If you're a therapist of any strip, then we've got something for you. That's it for this week's podcast. Thank you, Kev, for being on the podcast. Kev, co-founder, wonderful guy. Together, we're just trying to make the world a better place. I know that might sound a bit bold, but we're both therapists and we're both businessmen. And together we want to help you as a therapist develop yourself as a person and to help your business grow and flourish. Therapybusinessclub.com is where you should go next after this podcast. That's it for this week. Thank you for listening. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and we hope to see you next time on the Therapy Business Club podcast. Have a wonderful day. Peace.